Today in a 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek, we're going to be test fitting the Saris Glide EX 4 bike rack for 1 1/4 and 2-inch hitches, part number SA774. We already have a bike installed on the rack. Let's go take a closer look here. And this is a pretty unique bike rack when it comes to the hanging style. Now, if you wanted to gain rear hatch access with all 4 bikes attached, normally you'd have to buy a model that you could swing out away from the vehicle to do that. Because most of the hanging style, you'd have to take the bikes off, fold it down, and then you can tilt it out of the way. With this actually glides out of the way with all 4 bikes attached to get that rear hatch access. To do that, we'll come to this trigger here at the back side, push out, and now we have that access that we need. And you have plenty of space on either side. As you can see, the bike closest in is far enough away that it's not going to be an issue. To put it back, we just simply reverse that process. There we go. Moving on to some of the other features, the cradles themselves are going to be stationary. However, they can move and adjust to accommodate bikes of different frame styles, although in some cases you may need bike adapter bars, such as alternate frame bikes and kids bikes, because those frames tend to run really low and you want to keep the bikes as level as possible. Sarris does have one of these, and you can find these on etrailer.com. How it holds your bike into place, we'll have 3 points of contact. We'll have 2 straps up at the top here, and then one off to the side here, which is going to be your anti-sway cradle to keep the bike from moving too far back and forth and causing bike-to-bike contact. Also at the main mast here, we do have an integrated cable lock that it comes included with. You would pull this out, wrap it around all 4 bikes, and then attach it to the point up at the front and lock it into place. And this is key-to-like with the hitch lock, which we'll get to later as well. So your bikes are going to be secured to this rack once it's installed. So let's go ahead and take the bike off. We'll start by pushing this tab at our top strap, which will release it. Tighten up that way. And you can see right here we have these pads along the strap too. So when we wrap it around our actual frame of our bike, we're not causing any damage or scratches to it once we're tightening it down. Pretty neat. Alright, now to make it a little bit easier on us, we're going to push our anti-sway cradles inward just to make the unloading process easier for us. Like so. Now with the bike rack in this position, which is called the loading position, I'd like to give you a couple quick measurements. Measuring from the edge of the bumper to our outermost point, which is going to be our arm here, we're at about 41.5 inches from the rear of the vehicle. For our ground clearance, it's going to be 11 inches to this edge. And the closest point to the bumper is 5.5 inches to this edge. And from our emblem to the back here is going to be about 5 inches. So that's plenty of clearance between the both. Right now we do have the arms folded out, but with nothing on it, you can fold these arms down for the close quarter situations such as parking, putting it in your garage, or putting it away for storage. To do that, there's this latch up at the top. You pull that out and just guide them down till you hear a click. And the arms actually sit back further than most of the hanging styles, so they don't stick out at all and cause a little bit of more clearance issue. So, again, measuring from the edge of the bumper to our outermost point, now we're at about 12.5 inches to this edge. Our closest point, that's still going to be about the same, so nothing's really changed with that. How this attaches to the hitch, we're going to have an anti-rattle bolt. Once that's tightened down, it'll take out the shake and play in the shank and make for a smoother ride, and we'll also have a lock on the other end with a cover on it to keep the road dirt and grime out. And this is key-to-like with that integrated cable lock I had mentioned earlier. You also see this kind of dark gray collar around the edge here. If that's removed, So you can utilize this with 1¼ hitches as long as they're Class 2. So this can work with multiple vehicles, or if your Subaru Crosstrek has a Class 2 hitch on it, it'll work with that as well. And there you have it for the Saris Glide EX 4 bike rack on our 2014 Subaru XV Crosstrek.
Now we can take it out on our test course and see how it performs. Here in our test course, let's first go into our slalom. This is going to show side-to-side action, such as going around corners or evasive maneuvering. Now on to some speed bumps. This is going to show us what it's like to hit some rough patches when we're on the road.